And everybody, it is New Lex High School Panther football. Tonight it is homecoming. What a great occasion, beautiful weather. Howard Twiggs on board with Coach Doug Clifford and Sam Roop. Also on the technical side, Marcus McPeck, Michael Steele, Wesley Fries, Alex Thorngate. Also on hand for supervision, Mr. Tony Thorngate, the high school principal, and Miss Amanda McCoy, the AD. And guys, what a perfect time for homecoming and New Lex on a roll, Doug.
Oh my goodness! I mean, they've just about steamrolled everybody they've played. I got to looking; they haven't given up a touchdown since the first quarter, the opening drive of the Tri-Valley game, and that was due to a fumble on the kickoff. And last week it was a shutout. They shut out Tri-Valley the last three quarters, so their defense is riding high, and so is their offense. So they have it all going right now.
Offensively, 33 points a game and surrendering just 9 points a game. And in speaking of homecoming, Sam Roop, one of the students at New Lex, one of our great media representatives from the program, has our homecoming information. So, Sam, let's go your way.
All right, well, first off, congratulations to everybody. Freshman attendant was Stella Hefner. Sophomore attendant was Sophie Burgess. Junior attendant was Rayleigh Sarver. And the senior king candidates were Paul Stenson, Tristan Braden, and Harrison Ratliff, which we'll all see on the football field tonight. And senior queen candidates were Caroline Dupler, Peyton Lee, and Rayleigh Spahn. And actually, the 2024 homecoming king and queen Carson Kellogg and Josie Bowen crowned the 2025 king and queen, drumroll please, Caroline Dupler and Harrison Ratliff. So congratulations to those two. And, I mean, that's a pretty cool thing. Doug, were you ever a homecoming king back in your day?
No.
It was a short question and I think a shorter answer. I'm not sure they had homecoming back in the 1890s, but I could be wrong.
Well, we'd gather up the covered wagons and talk about how it was when we went across the Great Plains, and had to fight the Cleveland Indians to get to where we were.
The only homecoming you knew was when you got home and got a spanking for all of your misdeeds. That was your homecoming.
Just about.
New Lexington 6-0 on the season, 4-0 in MVL play, 3-0 at home. Maysville Panthers 3-3 on the campaign, 1-2 in MVL play. For New Lexington, as we mentioned, 33 points a game, surrendering just 9. Maysville Panthers under coach Chase Bowman, offensively at 29 points a game, defensively 29 points a game. So, Doug, a little bit of both sides of the ball there for the Panthers.
Well, yeah, I talked to Chase Bowman and welcomed him back to the coaching ranks after a stint in administrative roles at Morgan. And he told me that their biggest issue this year defensively is stopping the run. And he says when the games that they can control the rushing attack of their opponent, they've won. He says the games that we haven't controlled the rushing attack, we've lost. So knowing Kevin Board the way we do, he's going to take advantage of that right away, I'm sure.
And we'll get an injury report here momentarily from Sam, who's got his thumb on the pulse with the injury situation. Sam, I know you were down on the field. What is the health of the Panthers?
So Paul Stenson said that he's feeling 100% ready to go. And Tanner Toth is still a game time decision, but when they were both warming up, like it's every other Friday. I mean, they were both looking good, feeling 100%. So I'm just excited for them both to be back and to see the energy that they bring to this team.
Absolutely. New Lexington, 7th in the latest Associated Press poll and first in their region, which means a first-round bye if they can continue. We are going to momentarily break for the national anthem, but we can tell you prior to that there are two common opponents with these two teams. Philo beat Maysville 38-21, and then Coshocton was beaten by Maysville 48-0. And we will step aside for the national anthem. Well, actually, we have a walk down the field for the flag colors presentation prior to that, so that gives us a little bit more opportunity to talk about a couple of things. Doug, I know you wanted to stress how you feel about the defense. And boy, I don't want to slight anybody, but there's three guys, Eli Stevens, Harrison Ratliff, and then straight line Terrell King. You know, we talked about him last week. That guy's so fast to the quarterback.
Well, he leads the team in sacks. He leads the team in tackles for a loss. He has 5 sacks, 7 tackles for a loss. He's been involved in 33 tackles, 22 solo tackles. He's right behind Harrison Ratliff.
And we will break for the anthem. Well done by the New Lex band. Go ahead, continue, Coach.
Well, you have to know where Terrell King is at all times. And then every now and then, like you said about Eli Stevens, who's a giant of a young man, they move him from nose tackle out to defensive end. And, I mean, you can almost hear the sweat beating up on the quarterback's forehead when they do that because you know he's only there for one reason, and that is absolute to just run amok through your backfield. So, and then in the secondary, you have a guy with so much speed like Tyson Spicer.
Mm-hmm.
Tyson has 27 tackles, but only 3 solos. So he's made up, a lot of those tackles would be touchdown-saving tackles in that category. So he's been in on 20 assists. So New Lex is an excellent tackling team this year. And, I mean, they do what we used to call that they play defense on purpose.
You know, Coach, the health of New Lex, except for the bangs and the normal bruises to this point. But, you know, fortunately, Stenson, as Sam pointed out, should be a go, and hopefully Tanner Toth. They've been relatively free of injuries, and you've got to stay injury-free if you're going to run the table.
Well, you know, we always used to think you could depend on your talent the first half of the season. And then the second half of the season, you had to depend on who's not injured. And that's exactly right, Howard. I mean, Tanner Toth injured that foot at Tri-Valley, and Paul Stinson got nailed on a screen pass, the second or third play of the game, and took one right in the ribs, and didn't come back. So we'll see how effective those two guys are.
Maysville won the toss, and they deferred to the second half. And how about New Lex throwing out the new unis for this one, the black jerseys with the orange and white numerals and an outline, and then the white pants. We haven't seen that. Sam, did you know that was coming?
I did not. However, for the football team, they always love to mix and match it up, so I'm honestly not surprised.
Well, I like those white numbers because we'll be able to see those bad boys forever.
Something menacing about those big numbers like that. But we do say that Maysville won the toss. They deferred, so New Lexington should line up this way. Lane Ratliff at quarterback. Paul Stenson or Colton Mathias will be the running backs. Eli Dixon, Tyson Spicer, Terrell King at the receiver spot. We are yet to find out if Tanner Toth plays. Harrison Ratliff would step in if he's not available. And along the line, and Coach, I know this brings a great feeling to your heart when I announce these guys. Bodie Decor, Chase Schreiner, Eli Stevens, Tristan Braden, and Paul Neely across the front.
Oh, what an offensive line that is. They've played every game together this year, and I mean, they just dominate the line of scrimmage every game we've seen.
Well, the officials tonight, and it's a good crew from around the Portsmouth area. Rick Merb, Anthony Sheets, Chad Jenkins, Jennifer Blue, Kenny Krebs, and Jeff Jenkins. So hopefully they'll present the good game tonight. And again, I know a little bit about this crew, and they are outstanding. So the weather, as we mentioned, all good there. Maysville will have the white jerseys, and they are yet to make their way onto the field. So New Lexington's all ready to go, line up. The officials are all set. So there comes Maysville out on the field now. The white jerseys, as we mentioned, the black pants, the white helmets with the blue lettering and blue numbers. They will, of course, be running the quarterback situation with Cade Rock. His top receivers are Cohen Llewellyn and Landon Iden. Rushing for Maysville, they go with Keaton Bryan as their top running back, although Cade Rock certainly is capable of running the football. And we are just about ready to start things up again. It is Maysville 3-3 on the season, New Lexington 6-0 on the campaign, and the Panthers trying to keep that ranking in the top 10 poll, and they also certainly want to stay number one in the region.
Well, you know, it looks like the Panthers, the New Lexington Panthers, they've had the extra, medium, and low-rated team 3 weeks in a row. They knocked Tri-Valley off, a great win up there for them. Then they played the 1-6 Coshocton team, and now they're playing a team that's 500. So I expect it to be a little tougher game than last week. Plus, these guys put 48.
Yeah, they can score
up on Coshocton, and New Lexington didn't do that.
Carson Larimer will kick off for Maysville. Back deep for the New Lex Panthers will be Mason Ryder and the dangerous Tyson Spicer. New Lexington going right to left and getting ready to kick off for Maysville. There's that ball again, Coach, we've seen all year. They don't use the tee. They kick it right off the ground. And I'm assuming that's something designed for squib-type knuckleballs?
Well, I mean, it looks like they're kicking a loaf of bread down the field. We'll see what this one does. I mean, those kicks are not consistent, that's for sure. Oh,
there it
man,
is,
that's
that little
ball for sure.
One hopper fumbled by New Lex and then picked up at the last second by Carson McCoy. And I guess that's what it's designed to do, Doug.
Absolutely. My feeling is you give up a lot of field position doing that. If somebody can field that ball cleanly, I mean, they're going to start at the 36-yard line.
So good field position, and Tanner Toth is starting the football game for New Lex at the tight end spot. And they will set it up right here. Let's see if Stenson is at the running back spot. He is, in fact, on the field. So everybody full go for the Panthers. Wide splits along the offensive line. In motion is Spicer. Shotgun formation. Keeper right away for Ratliff. And he fights knocked out of bounds, but not before he gets what could be a first down. So Lane Ratliff, excellent running on the quarterback draw.
That was the old Washington Redskins counter trounce blocking scheme. Backside guard and tackle both pull. One kicks out. Second man seals to the inside. Nice gain.
Bunch formation for New Lexington. It's a catch, and it's good enough for the first down. And big running room all the way down the field for Eli Dixon. And Dixon, will he score? He, in fact, is going to be knocked down at the 1 yard line. 57-yard pass completion to Dixon.
Well, did you see the defensive player, the secondary man for Maysville, came up and tried to pick that off, and that's one of those almost great plays that turned into a disaster. Had he knocked that down, he'd have been the hero of the day, but as it is, he left that secondary wide open, and that ball was taken down to the 3.
So the swing pass, the little screen, goes good for New Lexington. They will go straight ahead with Paul Stenson. Stenson into the end zone, and that is a touchdown for New Lexington right away for the Panthers.
Well, the defensive or the coaching staff from Maysville up here in the booth saw the same thing I did. They had a guy blow through the gap and was broken down to make the tackle at the line of scrimmage, if not in the backfield, and Stenson just sidestepped him. The guy didn't get a hand on him.
So the extra point coming in. What better way to start than 3 plays and touchdown, 3 touchdown run? So they're going to go for 2. And Coach, you've mentioned this all season. They always go for 2.
They did every week except Tri-Valley.
All right, so in the shotgun is Ratliff. He will roll to his left. He'll throw into the back of the end zone, and wide open for the two-point conversion is,
I think that was Spicer.
yeah, let's see.
Is that Spicer, Sam?
Yeah, it was Tyson Spicer.
Tyson
Okay.
Spicer on the two-point conversion makes it 8-0 to the very start of the football game for New Lexington. Sam, your initial thoughts on the guys must have been pumped up. Good lunches this week, I'm assuming?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, you could see on the second play of the drive, Tanner Toth just running the entire field, trying to lay out somebody, trying to block for his teammates. So I think he's obviously 100%. And then Paul Stenson, what a 2-3 yard touchdown run. I mean, he's 100% too. I think this team hasn't missed a step.
I don't think of all the games we've done for the Panthers, we haven't seen them score that quickly.
There aren't many three-play drives
That
out
was
there.
man.
A quarterback run, I think another short pass for a first, and then they'll way down the field for 52, and then bang, bang. All right. So it should be Eli Dixon kicking off. No, it is going to be Colton Matthias. Coach, I want to ask you about this. It seems like every week somebody different kicks off for New Lex. What's up with that?
Well, I think it's whoever gets the short straw.
Okay. All right. I mean,
That's the only thing I can figure out.
We have seen.
Well, at least he's going to kick the ball off the way it should be instead of that donut kick.
Yeah.
But, whatever works.
Yeah, we've seen Sawyer Barkus, we've seen Eli Dixon, and now Colton Matthias. And
They must have a weekly competition.
I guess. There is the kick, and it's a good one. And that will be fielded back at the 15-yard line by Maysville. Good running room, and it is Keaton Bryan on the kickoff return. So Maysville with decent field position for their initial start of the game.
Well, that's interesting, Howard, because Maysville kicked that thing, squib style, and they started, New Lex started at the 36th. New Lex kicked a conventional kickoff, and they're going to start at the 35. So basically it's the same result, two different styles of kicking.
Defensively for the Maysville, or I should say New Lex Panthers, it's Stenson, Stevens, and Braden along the front, Terrell King, Harrison Ratliff, Tanner Toth, Paul Neely, Dalius Neely, Tyson Spicer, Carson McCoy, and Mason Ryder. Running room on the left side, not much going right there for Maysville. Good stop along the left side of the line. So coming up on the bottom of that pile, looks like for New Lexington, a couple of guys in there. Tristan Braden for one.
Well, they ran that ball right at Terrell King. So that was always our thought, too, as a coaching staff. If you have a guy who's really fast on defense, run at him. Don't run away from him because he's going to run you down from behind. Maybe he's not as good straight on, but that time it was a gain of 2 for the Maysville Panthers.
Ratliff and the linebackers drop back a little bit and back to passes. Rock got a man wide open but couldn't connect. So New Lexington, coach, looked like they had 9 guys up along the line of scrimmage before they retreated back.
Well, I asked Coach Board this week during our podcast interview about their defense, and he said, they used to design a defense every week for every team. He said, now we just play our base defense with different coverages. And when I interviewed Harrison Ratliff later in the day, he told me the same thing. And
speaking of Harrison, he's going to have to come off.
Well,
must be a mouthpiece issue. He will be replaced by Luke Fink, who's played a lot this year. 3rd down and 7 for Maysville. Rock in the shotgun.
Watch
for Terrell King. He's on the left edge. He will actually drop back into coverage. He is spying the quarterback, and that again goes astray. Eli Stevens bearing down on Rock.
Well, Eli was bearing down on him, and that pass would have had to have been almost airmailed in there. He had a guy, had a defensive back behind him, and he had Terrell King. Had the ball been underthrown, it would have hit Terrell right in the face mask.
That's good scouting, Coach, when you see your defensive end drop back into coverage and he's right there where he should be.
Yep.
Maysville's punter stepping on the field will be Landon Iden. Back deep will be Tyson Spicer for New Lex. Oh, it's over
look
his
out.
head. This is going to
Look
be
out.
trouble for Maysville. Iden picks it up, and he is being chased, and he will be thrown down on special teams by New Lexington's Tanner Toth. Guess who? Tanner Toth gets a nice tackle and make him feel a little bit better. Extra lunch for Tanner this week.
Well, it's about time you earn some of that NIL money, Sam. You know, I mean, what's he get, like 25 cents a game or something?
Yeah, I think that's what he said.
Well, good. That's going to be top of the scale.
But you got friends when you get those extra lunches on the big plays. Come on.
That's right.
The lunch ladies are on red alert for this one, I think.
Well, 2 big mistakes for the
Yeah.
Maysville Panthers. First series on that big pass, they went for the interception and missed, and now that punt snap was well over the punter's head. He had no chance.
Ratliff goes to Stenson. Stenson, will he get into the end zone? He's going to be just short that time for Paul Stenson. So nice blocking up front for New Lex.
Well, they're going to go hurry up here. I think we're going to get another dose of Paul Stenson.
Yeah, he must be feeling good. That is going to be into the end zone. And
touchdown.
Touchdown, says the guys in stripes. And a New Lexington strikes quickly again.
You know, one of the big fallacies in football at any level is the comparative scores. And, you looked at Maysville beat Coshocton 48-0, so that was basically the score for New Lex and Coshocton last week. And right now, New Lex is just pumping touchdowns into that end zone. One on a turnover, one on a big pass play.
Eli Dixon set to kick the extra point for New Lex, and
it's in there.
On the kick, just to the wide side of the upright. So first mistake of the night for New Lexington. It's not a major mistake. The big news is that it is 14-0 in favor of the Panthers. And, Coach, you've been in this situation. You tell the guys, I'm assuming at this point, hey, listen, guys, if you don't want to play, sit down. I have done that. If you don't want to play, go take a seat, and I'll find somebody who does want to play.
Well, you just have to get a grip. They've had 2 big mistakes, 2 individual big mistakes. One, a kid gambled and went for the interception. Had he picked that thing off, he'd have walked into the end zone for a pick 6. And then the punt snap over the head. So really their defense hasn't really had a chance to defend themselves. 2 big plays, one big mistake. But the offense needs to step up. This is the strength of their team this year, is their offense. And so you have to convince your offense, here's the game plan, we're going to stick to it, and put some on the board.
Well, here is kicker number 2 for New Lex. That is Eli Dixon. That's a nice kick down to the 15-yard line, fielded by Brian. He's trying to go to his left, and he's got good running room, and then forced out of bounds. Nice job defensively by the Panthers on special teams. Colton Mathias. So, Brian seems to have some athletic ability. He's got a little bit of juice in those wheels there.
Yes, he does. Sawyer Barkus and Eli Dixon chased him out of bounds. I was impressed he got around that corner like that. I thought for sure they were going to pin him back. New Lex is not known as a slow team.
No, very fast. So their defensive look on this possession is still the same. The two deep safeties, the 5-man line with the stand-up edge rushers, King and Neely, and they flip the tackles. It's going to be a motion penalty going against Maysville. And I think they were bothered a little bit by the movement along the defensive line.
No doubt. The defensive line made a little stem move to their right, and that's about as big of an adjustment as we've seen from their defensive front the last 2 weeks, is just that pre-snap movement. And I'm sure that's all based on what the guys have seen on film, the New Lex staff, and they see a formation and it have its tendencies and try to shift to stop that play.
Cade Rock makes it 2nd and 15. He is in trouble. Eli Stevens bearing down, gets it away.
Oh.
Is that a catch or no?
No.
It was right in front of the New Lexington bench. Well defended by Paul Neely. And, the receiver had a step over there for Maysville. Good ball that time by Cade Rock.
Excellent ball. That should have been a completion right there. It should have been a first down.
So make it now 2nd down and 15 for the Panthers of Maysville.
New Lexington defense let the quarterback out of the pocket that time. It's a cardinal sin on a drop back pass, letting the quarterback get outside.
Cohen Llewellyn will have the football, and he breaks ahead for about 4 yards.
Well, you know, this is a critical series for these guys. They needed to do something positive here, and on 1st down, they picked up that 5-yard penalty, so now it's 3rd down and 12.
Yeah, and
that's a tall task against this defense.
Yeah, because again, they are going to be rushing the passer with Terrell King and Paul Neely as those edge rushers for New Lexington.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see one of those inside linebackers blow through the gap. Here comes Toth. He's going to cover that guy. Screen pass.
Yep, that's a good one too. That's going to be a little bit shorter. The 1st down for Maysville should bring up a punting situation, but they get a little bit out of the hole with a pass to Cohen Llewellyn, good for 6 yards.
Well, if they can get this punt off cleanly and get a good snap first and get a good punt, at least New Lexington won't be starting off at their 5-yard line.
So, are they going to go for it here on 4th down? Looks as though they're going to go for it on 4th down and 5. No, they are going to punt. Another high snap, and here comes Tanner Toth again, and the punter gets it away.
That's a nice job of that punter.
Yeah, that is Alex Ray, and then picked up by New Lexington. And
guess who?
Yeah, Tyson Spicer. Free ball, yep, I'm going after it.
I think there's been one time where he's made a fair catch this year, and it was the one time where we wanted him to make the fair catch.
Hey, Sam, does he have a nickname around school, Tyson Spicer?
I mean, Tyson Spicer is just such a powerful name.
We could give him one. Does he have one?
Not that I know of.
Oh, okay. Well,
Mad Dog.
We're going to have to come up with a contest. Name Tyson Spicer.
I mean, I'm watching this ball bounce out of bounds, thinking the punter did a great job to get that off, kick that thing on the run while being pursued. Great job that time by him. Another bad snap. And all of a sudden, Spicer blows into the picture and picks the thing up.
2 running backs for New Lexington, both Matthias and Stenson, now go in motion.
That's something new.
Yeah, interesting formation. Ratliff will contain, and he has good running room.
Oh, nice
Tripped
tackle.
down at the 24-yard line.
Cohen Llewellyn, and he saved the extra point team from going out on the field on the next play, that's for sure.
Yeah, get those legs warmed up there, Eli Dixon, on the extra point. Eli Stevenson cleared the way also on that.
Well, the linebackers flared when the 2 backs flared and reset, and Lane Ratliff didn't hesitate. He took one look and said, "That's it, I'm going."
That is Toth in motion. The give goes to Matthias for his first carry of the night. Good run that time by Colton Matthias. He'll get 6 yards on his first carry.
Right.
2nd down and 4 for the Panthers. They are up 14-0, knocking on the door one more time.
Yeah, number 5 for Maysville almost had a nasty brief encounter with the offensive lineman down the field, the downfield block. There he is.
Will roll out and have enough for the 1st down as he'll get 6 yards. And, he has been dangerous all year on those quarterback keepers.
I think he was the difference in the game at Tri-Valley because Tri-Valley had no answer for him. Well, they're going to line up quickly.
Yep, 1st and goal at the 8-yard line for New Lexington. Matthias in the backfield. That is a little tunnel screen, and that is going to go into the 1-yard line on a catch by.
He didn't get in the end zone?
That is to Clayton Locke.
The old
7 on the play.
The old 1-foot line call.
Well, guess who's going to get the football here? Somebody either number 30 or somebody number 20 for New Lex.
That's really unfortunate because Locke was really close to scoring last week.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. All right, 2nd and goal for the Panthers. They'll go with Matthias. Big hole. Say goodnight. 1-yard run for Colton Matthias.
Well, it's interesting the way they give the ball to Matthias. He doesn't blast straight ahead. He moves laterally 2 steps first. And he comes to the quarterback and gets the football. The quarterback does not go to him. That is a part of the game that has really changed since I was on the sideline.
Eli Dixon will kick the extra point. I want to remind you that People's State Bank involvement is coming up here in just a second. And that is
There
good
you
for Eli Dixon. All right, we want to remind you that all banks offer customer service, but only one goes above and beyond, and that's People's State Bank, which keeps the community first, and that's what keeps them on top. That's People's State Bank, one of the great sponsors that we have for New Lexington football. 21-0, Coach. And again, not to belabor the point, you have been in these situations, and again, you can go either way. You can say, listen, guys, you want to play or not, or hey, hang in there and we'll hope for better things. What do you do? What do you say if you're the coach?
Well, I
Except start the buses, boys.
I really don't want to repeat what I used to say in these
No,
situations.
you can't do that now.
But I mean, what time we have here in the game? We have 6:49 in the first quarter. It's 21-0. You're out of your game plan already. You have to readjust. You're going to have to start throwing the ball now. Have any chance at all to move the ball, but every time you throw an incomplete pass,
Clock
stops, and one of those guys in the secondary is allowed to pick that thing off and take off with it, or your quarterback's allowed to get sacked, or worse yet, you have to try to punt. And so far, that's been a disaster for the Maysville Panthers.
Be fielded by Maysville's Keaton O'Brien. He's got room along the left side. That guy's got good jets.
He does.
He's a good-looking player for Maysville. Maysville will set it up again inside their own territory, yet to get a first down. Two bad punt snaps and a bomb by New Lexington, and it's 21-0 in favor of the guys from Perry County.
I would, if I was a coach on the sideline, I'd be really concentrating on, guys, let's get some yards on first down. Let's get some, let's play somewhere except from behind the sticks like we've been playing.
Cade Rock still at quarterback for Maysville. New Lexington shifts that line. Here they come. That's a little tunnel screen, well defended by New Lexington, and then breaking out for the Maysville Panthers on a good catch and run for Maysville, gets them 3 yards.
Nice tackle that time by Eli Stevens. You don't really expect your nose man to make a tackle on a forward pass, but the receiver went back toward where the ball was snapped from, and Eli was waiting on him.
2nd down and 7 for Maysville. Here comes Terrell King again on the rush. There he is. Rock gets a hold of it, and Spicer in and out of his hands, and he'll want that one back on the interception.
Yes, he was. He was wide open. But the quarterback was, and he waited another half second. It would have been a sack number 8 for Terrell King.
That ball was intended for Landon Iden for Maysville. Cade Rock now 2 of 6 for 8 yards. And again, but you see the result of Terrell King on that edge rush, putting that pressure on Rock.
Well, they've been dropping those guys off. They're outside linebackers, like they're dropping Terrell off now to cover a receiver. And all of a sudden, he shows up on the pass rush. That's tough.
There he is again. That's another ball intended down the field and not near the completed point of the field. So another bad situation for Maysville and the punting game on the field.
This has been a nightmare.
Yeah.
It was Landon Iden on that deep route. He had no chance. That ball landed clear out of bounds on the fly, so he had no chance to make a play on that. Well, this has just been I'd either get a guy that snapped it lower or a taller punter.
Well, Alex Ray is the punter, and he's not gotten his hands on it.
There you go.
Better snap, and Ray nearly blocked by Toth. Good punt, and fair caught that time by New Lexington's Tyson Spicer. So good for Maysville. They get the punt away.
Mark that the second fair catch that Tyson's had all year.
Well, we'll have to talk to him at halftime about that. We can't have that.
All right, so it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Panthers.
5:46 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, 21-0, and they've got it all their own way.
Well, one thing we haven't seen New Lexington do is sustain a long drive because they haven't had to. Uh,
No, and I think
two very short fields and one long pass.
I think Coach Board would like to see them put a drive together. It's going to be Ratliff, and he is breaking contain, and he's got good running room.
Wow, look
he
at
is
that.
up to the 40. He is
gone.
past midfield.
Oh.
He trips down at the 40, but not before he gets 31 yards.
Carpet monster got him. And he ran two Maysville defenders broke down to make a play on him, and he just went right by him. They did everything you're supposed to do, break down to make a tackle, and he was gone.
That's Stenson on the pitch out of the pistol formation,
Ooh.
and Paul Stenson gets 5. 3 carries, 13 yards for Paul Stenson, and a couple of touchdowns on the ground for New Lexington.
Well, Coach Board is, the offensive playbook's wide open. They're throwing the ball, they're pitching it out.
It's going to cost Maysville 5 yards.
Yes, it is.
They're going to go across the field. That's their second penalty for 10 yards here. Is that going to be enough for a first down? If not, it's going to be very close to a third down, a long one, maybe close to a 2. And New Lexington, as you mentioned, Doug, boy, the playbook's wide open. They can do anything they want here on a second down and just a couple.
Oh, my, yes. Really, second short. And Coach Board's brain is probably spinning some unbelievable Spock play from Star Trek out here.
Harrison Ratliff, one of the
receivers,
and that's a great delayed handoff to Paul Stenson, and Stenson should have enough for the first down for New Lexington.
Sticks are moving. Well, that was an interesting play action that time, almost like I guess we'd almost call that a draw play in the old days. Lane jumped up, pump faked, and then handed off to Stenson.
Brayson Lee, lone receiver on the left side for New Lexington. They look right.
There it is.
Ratliff's, he's got it away. He's got it away to Matthias, and Matthias will get about 5 yards. You know, when things are going your way, stuff like that happens.
Oh, man.
When they aren't going your way, it's intercepted or a sack.
Great defensive call by the Maysville staff that time. They blitzed. They blew past the guys. Maybe if that was a screen pass designed, they totally disrupted that play. And we have Patrick Mahomes' twin brother out there playing quarterback now for the Panthers. That was a Mahomes toss the ball with your hip pass that I've ever seen one.
In the backfield for New Lexington is Harrison Ratliff as a blocking back, and Ratliff's going to keep it. And this time he is stacked up, but he'll gain a couple.
Well, that's the other thing about Ratliff is when he runs, he's fast, but he also runs with power. He puts that shoulder into those guys and runs through tacklers. That should have been about a 1 yard gain. Instead, he picked up 7 or 8 yards.
Third down and 1 for New Lex. It's going to be Stenson. Moves left to right. And again, should be good enough for a first down. So give Maysville some credit there for hanging in there on the stop. It's, however, going to be a first down for Stenson. Brayson Lee still is the lone receiver on the left side. And on the right side, it's going to be Locke and Spicer with Stenson in the backfield for New Lexington. Ratliff at quarterback. Tanner Toth will be the wing back in this formation. In motion is Spicer. There goes Stenson. There goes Stenson into the end zone. Another touchdown for New Lexington.
They marked him short.
Oh, they're going to mark him at the 1 yard line. Ouch.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
All right, well,
Well,
that's the way it goes. He won't complain, will he?
Yeah, I think he might get the ball back this play.
Yeah, it's like,
man.
hey, well,
I thought when you fell in that black part of the carpet, you were as a touchdown.
All right, so first and goal. Here comes Stenson again. Is he into the end zone? He is into the end zone. Another 1 yard run for Paul Stenson.
Is that his third touchdown tonight?
It sure is.
Wow. Well, there was
in the first quarter
drive.
Wow.
And this is, I think this first quarter lasted longer than Gone with the Wind. Yeah. It's 2:24 left in the quarter.
Eli Dixon set to kick the extra point for New Lexington. And kick is on the way, and that's a good one. Eli Dixon kicks the extra point for New Lexington. We want to remind you that this new beautiful press box, of which we are a part of tonight,
Lights.
spacious, it's beautiful, and it's here at Jim Rockwell Stadium. And it's just one more example of how People's State Bank keeps the community first and answers the call when needed. So thank you so much to People's State Bank and the wonderful people there and the partnership they have with New Lexington. And this is a great press box.
Yeah, definitely. It's very nice.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so Coach, I keep asking the same question. I know I sound like broke a record. What are you going to do if you're Maysville? I mean, you're down 28-0 in the first quarter.
Well, right now it's obvious they're outmanned. They're outmanned, and
But they're a better team than this,
they're a
Coach.
better team than this, but they're outmanned. They're being outplayed, and they've had two. You don't want to have a bad punt snap over the punter's head maybe once a year, and they've had two.
Yeah.
They've given up a long pass, and that time New Lex just went down the field and did whatever they wanted to offensively. They threw a little bit. The quarterback scrambled a little bit. They ran the ball with Stinson a little bit. So right now, this game's wrapped up. It's tough to keep. It's tough to convince yourself and your kids to play like madmen when you're down by 28 points in the first quarter.
Keaton Bryan, nice return again for Maysville. And they'll have decent field position at about the 31-yard line, their own 31. So New Lex back on defense. And, if the New Lex Panthers aren't careful, Coach Board's going to be nice at halftime.
Man.
Is that possible?
Well, I mean, you ought to be passing out cake and ice cream.
I mean,
have these guys had a first down yet?
No first downs. As a matter of fact, they have
that's
8 yards of passing and 9 yards of rushing for New Lex. Or I should say,
can't get a first down. I mean, that's
Cade Rock in the shotgun, and he will go a little tunnel screen. Is that a live ball? No indication yet. Tyson Spicer was all over it.
They signaled incomplete here. This guy on the sideline right away. It was a heads-up play by – we saw that. We saw Ratliff recover one of those earlier this year.
So second down and 10 for Maysville. And, you're almost at the point, too, where you might just want to say, okay, we'll stop throwing the ball. We're just going to run it and pound it and try to get some first downs on the ground because, New Lex, I mean, they are playing pass. They have single coverage out there on the wide side of the field for New Lexington. Cade Rock will try to throw it. That's Mason Ryder on the coverage. And coming back to the ball, making a nice catch. And Terrell King lowers the boom on Maysville's Carson's armor. Yep.
Well, Tyson Spicer had the coverage on that and come up and made the hit and just bumped the receiver a little bit forward. And before that guy could turn around, King just leveled him.
Yeah, Terrell King on the play. And by the way, if you're wondering about Terrell King, he is a sophomore. Yeah. So 1st and 10 for Maysville. That's their initial first down.
I think he might be a junior, actually.
Okay, we stand corrected then. Still, he's back next year. And that's going to be a penalty. Is that going to be motion?
Yes.
On Maysville?
Yep.
That'll be their third penalty for 15 yards here in.
It just when they do have a little prosperity, they can't tolerate it. They have another mistake. So it's just been a very frustrating night so far for the Panthers in white.
And look how they flipped Terrell King, by the way. They now have him as the edge rusher on the right side of the defensive line. So they use him all over the field. Rock in the shotgun. Back to pass. He'll keep it, and he is going nowhere. Nice job by Colton Mathias of limiting him to no gain.
We did some podcast interviews this week with an athlete from all the fall sports, and the one we interviewed for the football team was Harrison Ratliff, and he told me that he's the inside linebacker that plays to the field. Tanner Toth, he said, plays to the sideline, short side, but Tanner is the one who calls out the formations. and recognizes what the team's doing, how he's looking right now. He's counting the receivers. He's telling everybody where to line up. And Harrison is the guy who has the most territory to cover, and rightly so with his speed.
Nothing going there for the carry for New Lexington. That was one guy by the name of Tristan Braden right there, and he just absolutely hammers Cohen Llewellyn. No gain on the play.
Go ahead, Sam.
Sorry, that's something that I've really noticed what Doug was talking about. Like, Terrell King always lines up to the wider side of the field, because why wouldn't you want your speed on the wider side of the field? Same with Harrison Ratliff. I mean,
yeah, when you've got gap pluggers like Braden and Stevens, you know, you can do those kinds of things.
Well, I'm looking at that right guard for Maysville, and I'm telling you, he's doing his best, but he's just not up to the challenge.
Rock will run out of bounds.
I think
great coverage that time by New Lexington.
Number 53 is
Carson McCoy.
Jarek Windland.
Yeah, Carson McCoy had great coverage. Rock had no opportunity to throw it to anyone. And here comes the adventure of the night, the punting game for Maysville. Last time they got it away, Alex Ray got a good punt.
Okay, is Jarek Windland going to snap this thing?
Tyson Spicer
will
be at his own 27-yard line for New Lexington. It's a one-hopper, and it's blocked by
gone.
Tanner Toth.
Forget that.
And this is going to be a touchdown for New Lexington. That is going to be a touchdown for Colton Mathias.
Cow, scoop and score big time.
Tanner Toth, Sam, I'd say he's feeling okay.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe 110%. So
Tanner Toth, a 30-yard fumble return.
Well, you know, the guys on New Lex's team was giving Harrison Ratliff a hard time because on that lateral we saw him recover, he flopped on it. And they were telling him, you know, there's not anybody within 20 yards of you. Pick it up and go. So last week he did.
Yeah. Well, the rule is, and you know, the guys follow that, but you know, if your eyes are like saucers, you got to go for it. So Colton Mathias gets his second touchdown of the first quarter, and Eli Dixon is successful. It's going to be 35-0 in favor of New Lex. Kick is on the way by Dixon. That's another good one. And 35-0 in favor of New Lex. And, you know, guys, you know, there's not a lot to say if you're Maysville. You know, we keep saying, you know, do this, do that. Like, you know, we've got the answers. We don't. Coach Bowman's a good coach. You know him very well, Doug.
He's an excellent coach. He was at Morgan and kind of restored that program. He went to a administrative role and couldn't be the head coach over there at Morgan. And when Coach Craig Clark stepped down at Maysville, Chase had been on his staff early in his career. He got the call to be the head coach at Maysville. They will be good. You know, Howard, I really expected this to be a much tougher game. I mean, you know, Maysville has a reputation for being a pretty tough, scrappy bunch.
Yeah.
Coach Board spoke very highly of their quarterback and their receivers, their running back. But, you know, they've been taken out of their offensive game plan so quickly. I mean, it's 35-0, and I don't think the New Lex Panthers have broken a sweat.
No, it's going to be.
The punting game has some serious issues that need to be addressed by the Maysville Panthers, that's for sure.
Colton Mathias, big kick. It will be fielded by Brian. He streaks to the left side of the field, and he is gang tackled at the 40-yard line by New Lexington.
You know, when we weren't very good one season, but one thing we were good at was kickoff returns, and
that's because you had a lot of practice.
In the offseason, we decided we were not going to lead the league in kickoff returns the next season, and that is not a good stat to lead in.
When your best part of your game is your kickoff return, you got a lot of things not so good.
Okay, it looks like the starting 11 out there. I mean, I see all the usual suspects.
Yep, the two deep safeties for New Lexington, and give to the left side and carry for about 3 or 4 yards, and then still on his feet is Cohen Llewellyn for Maysville. That's a gain of 7.
That's an excellent run. I would definitely pursue that if I were the Maysville staff. The first quarter is finally over.
Yeah. So, Sam, we'll give it to you first. What's your impression of how your schoolmates feel about themselves? You kind of have the pulse of what goes on with the team.
I mean, it's awesome. I feel like we've been here for 2 hours, and it's the end of the first quarter. I mean, the amount of energy that this team brings and the difference that Tanner Toth makes within the first play of the game to second to third, and then just that punt block. I mean, everybody does their job and does it well and does it with energy and intent that boosts the morale of the entire team. It's just everybody does their job, and it's incredible to watch.
How about you, Coach? What are your impressions?
Well, last week I thought the kids played for New Lexington. They played as hard as they had to play.
Right.
But I really don't think they had that kind of fire that they had the previous week for Tri-Valley, but they didn't need to have it. I mean, they had their stats were great. No yards basically for Coshocton last week, but that's not the case tonight. They came out tonight. They're playing very fast tonight.
So it's going to be 2nd down and 3 for Maysville. Cade Rock in the shotgun, pistol formation, high handoff. He'll go to the right side and nothing cooking. Great job defensively by the Panthers. That's Dalton Waite getting a tackle for New Lexington. Loss of a couple that time for Maysville.
Tanner Toth was in on that play as well. I mean, that was a tackle behind the line of scrimmage, tackle for loss.
So Dalton Waite getting some playing time. He is a freshman.
Oh.
And now the Maysville Panthers face a 3rd down and 4.
Boy, this is when you turn your defense loose.
Yeah.
Here they come.
Yep. And then long ball, got a guy wide open. Is that a catch? I believe it's going to be a catch at the 27-yard line. Nice ball that time by Cade Rock to the open receiver. That time was Landon Iden, and good enough for a 1st down. Big play.
Outstanding play that time. Great pass, hit that guy on the run. No one else could have caught that ball except him. The offensive line did their job that time. Terrell King made a stunt to the inside. He was picked up. Everybody else was picked up as well. Quarterback had a little bit of time, and we can see what a good quarterback he is when he has a chance to throw it.
And that's the Maysville we thought we would see. It's going to be Rock on the handoff, and that's going to go for a yard or two for Cohen Llewellyn for Maysville. But coming back to that play, guys, we talked in the pregame. Maysville's a good football team, and that's what we expected to see.
Oh, no doubt about it. But it's they've just so far behind, and that the score dictates what the defense can do. I mean, the New Lexington's defense, their coordinator Nick Phillips can call whatever he wants because he's not going to give up a 36-point touchdown. So you're playing with all aces right now if you're New Lex.
Nice ball that time by Cade Rock, and a great strike into the heart of the New Lexington defense. Good ball.
Carson Larimer, nice route. He went straight up the field, broke that thing to the inside, and Rock hit him on the move. Great timing, good protection.
Well, now we can officially say that Coach Board will have something to address to the guys at halftime. Letting up. But give Maysville credit at the same time.
Well, maybe they may have backed off a little bit in the secondary.
Whistle stops things. There's something on the field.
A little football.
Yep. Plastic, one of those little souvenir footballs. That is Cohen Llewellyn on the left side of Cade Rock in the shotgun formation for Maysville. Rock back to pass, has good protection. He'll go to the end zone. Nice catch.
That's 6.
That's a beautiful throw by Cade Rock. This guy's got some skills, Coach.
Oh, no doubt about it. He's an excellent quarterback. When he has time to throw the ball, it's been right on the money. All 3 of those passes that he completed in this drive were right on the money, hitting guys on the move. They weren't standing still.
That is a pass to Keaton Bryan.
Well, that's good to see from the young men from Maysville. Not the easiest thing in the world to do is look at that scoreboard and play for next week. I mean, they did not do that. They went down the field, nice drive, good protection for their quarterback, touchdown.
And Jocelyn Miladovich will attempt the extra point, and it is good. So Jocelyn Miladovich with the extra point. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, you can say what you want about, backing off mentally, a little bit physically for New Lexington. Give Maysville credit. That's a nice drive that time. And Cade Rock is very impressive.
Oh, no doubt about it. The defensive line and the pass rush for New Lex was non-existent in that drive. I mean, those weren't, except for that one cut into to Larimer. Those are passes that took time to develop, long routes, great job of pass protection. I mean, that's it. When you can pass block, and you're down by 35 points, that's that's some effort.
It is 35-7 in favor of New Lex. And Maysville will kick off.
We're at the 9:47 mark here in the first half. So as the score stands as right now till halftime, we will not be on the running clock, which we would have been prior to that score by Maysville.
Correct, but plenty of time in the second period.
Oh, goodness, yes.
That's Tyson Spicer back deep. It's going to be kicked short at New Lexington. Good running room on the little short kick by Carson McCoy. And New Lexington will have good field position, still in their own territory, but they will have it right at the 45-yard line for the Panthers.
Well, that grab by Carson McCoy probably saved him 15 or 20 yards in field position. That's a nice job. Well, that's the drawback to the, kick it like a loaf of bread kickoff. If somebody that second wall catches the ball, they're going to have great field position. New Lex is starting off at their 45-yard line.
Brayson Lee is one receiver, Clayton Locke, and Tyson Spicer in the slot. He will go in motion and then reverse course, and the give will go to Paul Stenson. And Stenson, not much running room, so Maysville laces up the shoes and stops Stenson after a 1-yard gain.
Nice job that time by the Maysville defense. I mean, that was Coach Bowman's big concern coming into this game was his rush defense. He said it has not been good this year, and that was an outstanding play that time.
Same formation.
Well, look at their defensive linemen. I mean,
not big.
Not very big. When you compare it to the guys that are playing on New Lex's defensive line, those guys look like they belong in junior high.
Much different, especially it's a three-man line. Eli Stevens, look at him blocking, by the way, and Stenson nears another first down for New Lexington. You can see Eli Stevens coming from the center position, and then they swing him out to the left side. That's great footwork by Eli.
Oh, it is. Not very many centers can do that.
3rd down and 1 for New Lexington. They're in the Maysville side of the field. Colton Mathias has checked into the game now. 4 receivers set for New Lex. Ratliff, look out for his wheels. Nope. Instead, they'll go to Mathias, and that penalty is going to bring back the football. I think it's going to be their first one of the game, Coach.
I think it's going to be definitely on New Lex. This guy on the sideline called that thing right away. Yeah, he saw some movement on the New Lex side. It shouldn't have been there.
And it's their
going to make it 3rd and 6.
Yep, first penalty for the Panthers of New Lex.
Well, Coach Boards brought out the rushing attack here in his possession. 3 straight runs. That would have been a first down, well into the territory of the Maysville Panthers, but called back. Now it's going to be 3rd and 6 at the 49-yard line.
122 yards on the ground for New Lex to this point, middle of the second quarter. 70 by Lane Ratliff.
Well, this is when Lane Ratliff is at his most dangerous. If he decides to pass it, he'll take off.
He's going to pass, got a little tunnel screen to Terrell King, and he breaks a tackle, breaks another one, and then finally knocked out of bounds. Be careful of a penalty flag there. So Terrell King fights for extra yardage, but it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, Sawyer Bailey for the Maysville Panthers. I mean, that was a kill or be killed tackle. He was fighting to keep King from getting that first down. He did a great job. I mean, he may have dropped him out of bounds a little bit, but I'm telling you, that was a battle. Nice job by Bailey.
Let's see what formation this is. This is going to be Terrell King in the backfield for New Lexington. Interesting look there. With Spicer in motion. And he will now line up in the double wing for New Lex. And what are we going to get? Flag, I think a delay of game perhaps.
Well,
New Lex.
The guy over here called the timeout. The guy back here in the back threw the flag, so we'll see which one gets their way.
Did they get the timeout? They must have, because they're not moving the football back. So New Lex gets the timeout before the delay of game. It's going to be 4th down and 3. What do you think, Coach? Go for it or no?
Oh, heck yeah. Go for it. There's no doubt in my mind. Go for it. And what I would do is I would have a pass called, and I'd tell Lane Ratliff, if it doesn't look absolutely outstanding immediately, take off, pick it up. He may be the most elusive runner on this squad.
You know, he's very underrated in his running game, too. You know, when you look at his stats over the course of the season, he's, middle of the pack or a little bit above the middle of the pack. And I think he's fine with that, because he does exactly what he's coached to do. And very, very smart quarterback.
Oh, he is. No doubt about it.
All right, so they're going to bring Stenson back into the lineup.
That's interesting. They have 2 blocking backs in there, almost like a punt formation.
They're going to go straight ahead, and Stenson's going to have the first down. Look out to the 30, to the 20, down to the 10, inside the 5, and say goodnight. 48-yard run for Paul Stenson.
How many touchdowns does he have tonight?
That's 4, isn't it?
Yes, he has 4.
I mean, that was like a Franco Harris type run where Franco used to run off tackle in 3rd or 4th and short, and the defensive stack to stop him. And as soon as he got past that first linebacker level, there's no one else to stop him. And that's exactly what happened here with Stenson. Once he broke the line of scrimmage and gained 3 yards, there was nobody left. One little defensive back, and he had no chance.
Eli Dixon on to attempt the extra point for New Lexington. Kick is on the way. No indication yet. I believe that's good. Yep.
Good.
So Eli Dixon adds on another extra point, and that makes it now 42-7.
Well, so much for letting Lane do anything.
Yeah. Hand off to Stenson.
Just hand off to Stenson, and I'd say that rib cage feels pretty good.
Yeah, feels better now.
Man.
I would think. And for Maysville, that just has to be disheartening. You put together a nice drive. You had some nice plays, and then your defense, and you talked about this quite a few times, Coach, they're very concerned about their run defense. And on 4th down and 4, guess what? They Swiss cheese them.
I talked with Chase Bowman before the game, and I told him how this time of year we would always check the team stats in the times recorder. And going into that next game, if we saw that a team couldn't stop the run or couldn't stop the pass, it'd be very evident with those team stats, and that would play into our game plan. We would say, if these guys can't stop the run, then that's what we're going to test first, and usually it would hold up and be pretty true.
Colton Mathias, good kick that time, fielded by Maysville's Keaton Bryan, and he is being chased trying to turn the corner. He does once again. Speedy wheels over there on the far side, and Maysville will set it up on their own 35-yard line. Midway point of the second quarter, New Lex all over Maysville, 42-7 on homecoming here in New Lex. So we made. Pardon me. Go ahead.
I was just wondering if Keaton Bryan had broken one for a touchdown this year, because I think it's a matter of time when he hits that middle and that kickoff team comes in to get him and he pops that to the outside, he's got the speed to go all the way.
1st and 10 for Maysville. 2 receiver set. Pistol formation for Cade Rock at quarterback. Rock will hand off straight ahead. And good running room that time by Maysville. And that is a gain by Cohen Llewellyn.
I like their first down calls. I mean, they're, let's get some positive yards. Let's push the ball down the field on first down and make it, so that we can call something on second and, it's definitely not second and long. I need about 4 yards here. We have some subs in the game. I think Eli Stevens is out of the game. I see number 51 in there for the Panthers.
Gavin Craig.
Thank you, Sam.
Of course.
Another carry by Llewellyn, and he is stuffed right at the line of scrimmage by Paul Neely. They'll be short of the first down.
Paul Neely's 72.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right, because that was the number change.
Eli's back in there after one play. So big down here for Maysville. 3rd and 2 for the Panthers, trying to stay on the field. New Lexington with Eli Stevens back in the middle of the defensive line for New Lex. Rock will pitch.
Whoa!
Be careful on that one. That's going to go as a forward pass to Cohen Llewellyn.
First down.
That was dangerous, but a first down.
Well, I'm telling you, just like you draw it up. Man, that thing looked like a foul ball headed for the third baseline to me.
So the first down for Maysville keeps the drive alive. That is Llewellyn's second catch for 10 yards. 6 of 12, 61 yards for Cade Rock. They will go on the left side to Alex Ray. Ray no gain on the play. Stopped defensively by Tanner Toth.
Yeah, I think Tanner Toth is about to come out of the ball game.
He looks a little, looks like a...
Yeah, he took, I saw him, he went down and grabbed that ankle. There's no need for him to be in there.
Not at this point. I think the coaches in the box will point that out, and Coach Board will...
Well, when he went back in the game at Tri-Valley, it wasn't the coach's decision. He sneaked back on the field after he hurt that foot.
Rock back to pass, tipped. Almost intercepted that time by New Lexington. Wow, what a great play by guess who? Harrison Ratliff. You won't find a better linebacker in this league than Harrison Ratliff. You know what impresses me about him is he plays pass coverage very well.
Yes, he does.
Stops the run, but also a great reader of the defense.
His reaction time is outstanding. I mean, he reads the play immediately and runs the course he's supposed to be on.
Sam, is he not a wrestler?
He is a wrestler, and he's one of the best.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
3rd down and 10 for Maysville. They're going to get a timeout here. They are. That reminds us that People's State Bank, it's the go-to place for more than their friendly service. It's more than checking, savings, loans, mortgages, and investments. It's the commitment to keep the community first. That's People's State Bank. So keep those folks in mind, and they've been very generous to all of us and very generous to New Lexington City Schools, as we mentioned earlier, this press box situation. So big play for Maysville, Coach. They're not going to go for it on 4th.
Well, they probably shouldn't, but why not? I mean,
I don't know if I'd want to go for it in my own territory.
You want to snap the punt?
No, I want to.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
if they don't get the first down, New Lex have the ball around the midfield.
Or
if
worse,
they snap that ball over the punter's head again, they're going to have it at the 6-yard line.
That's true. All right, so passing situation for Maysville. 3rd down and 10. Look at New Lex crowd the line of scrimmage. They've got everybody within 8 yards.
Here they come.
And look out. Oh, that's going to be a way overthrown. Intended down the field for Maysville and not able to connect to Landon Iden was Cade Rock.
Cade Rock, that's called your survival throw.
Yeah.
He did. I don't think he cared. There's a receiver within 10 miles of that ball. He was not going to let himself be pounded into the carpet.
Mason Ryder on the coverage that time for New Lexington. And Alex Ray again, the punter for Maysville. And a one hopper. It's a good punt away. And that's going to be fielded at the 23-yard line. And look out here. This could go the distance for New
They're
Lexington.
flag down.
Yeah, so this will be coming back most likely for Tyson Spicer. Too bad.
You want to get that fair catch taste out of his mouth, Sam.
Hold on. Ref signaled the wrong way. I thought it was going to be a holding on Maysville, but I think it's a holding on New Lex.
They called block in the back.
Yeah, I was just going to say, when you see those situations, 9 out of 10 times, it's an illegal block in the back. So take that away for Tyson Spicer and give the ball back to New Lexington from the spot of the foul, I'm assuming. It'll be, what, the 42-yard line for
Well,
New Lexington?
as soon as Tyson turned that thing up the field, the flag came out. So it was happened right away.
Again, we had mentioned this officiating crew is a good one out of the Portsmouth area.
My hometown.
Yes, that's why I mentioned it.
Wow.
Well, one of the referees I see is Rick Merb, and Roger Merb was one of the best coaches of his time. He was the head coach at Defiance College when they had the longest winning streak in the nation at one point because we had to play them, and we added to the streak at Wilmington. And then a few years after that, he took the head football job at Portsmouth. I think he's a hometown boy there, and I bet that is some relation to him, Rick Merb.
1st and 10 for the New Lex Panthers. Ratliff on the screenplay. That's a good one. That's Tyson Spicer on the catch, but well defended by Maysville. And believe it or not, that is Tyson Spicer's first catch.
Oh, I know. I was going to say that punt return is about the biggest output he's had tonight, without a doubt, and then he got called back. If his shirt was a little tighter, he may have broken that. The guy just got him by the shirt and dragged him down.
2nd down and 5 for New Lexington. They will pitch to Stenson. Stenson jumps over the pile and gets another first down. Stenson over 100 yards rushing here in this first half, along with the 4 touchdowns.
He goes out. Matthias comes in. They're going to go to the line of scrimmage, go hurry up offense before the Maysville Panthers have a time to catch their breath.
There's the pitch again.
There's a nice play.
That's Colton Matthias. Good stack up by Maysville that time on the carry by Matthias. Gain of 1.
Number 8, Jace Daniels, first guy on the scene. Tackle for a loss. Nice play, Jace.
2nd down for New Lexington. They lead big here in the second quarter, trying to tack on another one.
3:26 remaining in the half.
I think also, Coach, they probably want to run this down and work on some things, but if a big play happens, it happens. Oh, another trickery play. This is a good one for the Panthers.
Nice
in and
block.
out on the offense for Tyson Spicer on the run. So nice job for Tyson that time, and has enough for the first down, gain of 10.
Nice block by the wide receiver, Brayson Lee, that time.
So Tyson Spicer gets into the action. First on a catch, and now on a run.
Well, he followed his block extremely well. The defender went to the outside, then he went back to the inside, back to the outside. The blocker stayed with him, didn't hold. Great job with that. Picked up the first down.
Carson McCoy steps in for Tyson. And it's Colton Matthias. Another job defensively by Maysville. Gain of a couple for Matthias.
You know, what I'm seeing, Howard and Sam, is the Maysville defense is doing a better job. And then they get into a situation where a superior athlete on the New Lex side of the scrimmage makes a big play. And, you know, what they say, X's and O's aren't as important as the Jimmy and Joe's.
Yep.
And so we'll see what happens here. Oh, there's a Lane Ratliff play.
On the keeper. Ratliff breaks contained.
Goodbye.
Still on his feet. Nobody's going to catch Lane Ratliff on a 43-yard run.
Touchdown.
Lane Ratliff, 43-yard run. And another touchdown for New Lex.
I'm telling you, Sam, I wouldn't know, but I would say chasing a cockroach would be easier than chasing a Lane Ratliff.
Yeah.
I mean, he is just, he's elusive. He runs with power, and then when he turns on the speed, he's gone.
He will now be the holder waiting Eli Dixon's extra point for New Lexington, and they are up by a lot. Oh,
Whoa,
kick
that was a
fumbled
yep.
on the snap.
Throw it.
Can they turn the
Nope.
corner? And the extra point try is no good for New Lexington, one of the few mistakes the Panthers have made. And, oh, guys, what do you think at this point of the first half? 48-7? You know, this is where your mind starts to wonder, about team records. We don't know the annals of New Lexington, which is storied back to the Coach Rockwell days. What's the most points they've ever scored in a half?
Wow, I mean, I would
It'd
think
be hard pressed to find more than 48.
I'm telling you, that's a lot of points.
Yeah.
That is a lot of points. I mean, they've scored. Their offense has scored. Their special teams have scored. So far, Harrison Ratliff hasn't embarrassed himself by flopping on a fumble.
That is, that's a plus.
Still time.
Still time, Harrison.
Yeah, there's 2 minutes left in the half, so we'll see.
Well, I had to spend some time with Harrison this week.
Yeah, we want to talk about that when we get a chance, your interviews.
That was, very interesting to talk to those kids. Harrison has his future planned out. I talked to a young lady who's one of the soccer players, and Lily is going to go into the Navy. In fact, she's already enlisted.
Lily Powell.
Yeah, and so some really interesting kids I talked to.
Well, we'd like to do more as the season goes on for some of those player profiles. Ball is still going for Maysville, and a tough run that time by the Panthers, and a good stop by New Lexington on the special teams.
Gavin Duncan corralled that football. I mean, he had a quick little bobble there when he first started off, but once he got that thing under control, he had a nice return.
Clayton Locke on the bottom of that pile with some help from 3 or 4 other guys.
So what are we looking at time-wise here? 1:51 left in the first half.
I think Maysville has 2 timeouts left.
48-7. Woo.
Yeah, 48-7 at the break.
I mean, if you're Maysville, you want to lead a scoring drive, but you also don't want to leave too much time on the clock. You do receive the second half kickoff, but I don't know if you want to give New Lex the ball with 10 seconds left.
I think we're going to see some running plays.
Yeah, in the shotgun, Cade Rock.
Nope.
He will go back to
throw
pass.
it deep.
He's looking for Brian. Nice coverage that time by New Lexington, and that's Mason Ryder back there deep for New Lexington.
Nice coverage. You know, the Maysville receivers have been getting behind the defenders, and not that time. It's good coverage.
Yeah, this Keaton Bryan has wheels.
Well, you know, that play by Mason Ryder that time, had that been in the college ranks, the guy would have done about a 35-second dance after the play. I'm glad to see he just knocked it down and said, okay, throw it at me again. Here it comes.
It is again to Bryan. Great job.
He knocked it down again.
Away. Good job by Mason Ryder. So they try to test him again.
2 knockdowns. Great coverage that time.
I was able to speak with Mason Ryder this week, and I asked him a bunch of questions, but one of my favorite questions was, if your football journey was a movie, what would it be called? He said it would be called Lockdown. And that just
Lockdown.
Yeah, and that just shows like the confidence that he has and the leader that he is in this secondary. I mean, he's going to lock your wide receiver 1 down.
Well, we used to say secondary guys have to play with great confidence and then have a dose of amnesia when they need it.
There it is again. That's going to be out of bounds. Big hit
And
on the
Tyson
far
Spicer's
side.
head.
Yeah, I was thinking when you said lockdown, Sam, I was thinking, glad they don't call him lock up. It's going to bring up a punting situation for Maysville.
You know, those guys in the secondary, if you're on the defensive line or a linebacker and you make a mistake, a guy's going to gain 5 yards. You make a mistake in the secondary, it's 6 points. And so, you have to play with reckless abandon back there. You have to, but you have to read your keys. But then if you make a mistake, you got to come back out the next series. Just forget about that mistake and start over again.
Alex Ray will be the punter for Maysville. Tyson Spicer will be the returner for New Lexington. Line of scrimmage at the 45-yard line. It's going to cost 5 for the Panthers. They jump offside. That's their second penalty for 10 yards.
I think I saw Tanner Toth kind of made a move to the line of scrimmage, but he didn't cross the neutral zone, but the right tackle.
They called a false start.
He did.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The right tackle moved.
Wow.
Tyson Spicer kind of intimidated him a little bit, and, why wouldn't he? I mean.
Yeah, so a little break there for New Lexington.
It's the best snap of the night.
Absolutely, and a high booming punt.
Look
Be
out.
careful,
Look
Terrell
out.
King.
Oh, that's going to take a
yeah.
New Lex bounce.
Yep.
Wow.
To the
That thing bounced back
45-yard line.
10
Went
yards.
back 10 yards, yeah. Yeah, Terrell King streaking down to set up the blocking for punt coverage. Nearly hit him in the back.
1:25 left in the half.
Okay, guys, you go for it or no. Run the football or try to get some more points.
I think with the score the way it is, it's going to be a running clock to start the second half.
You need more points?
I see the starters are still out there. I think Coach Board probably is going to say, guys, if you can score, here's your chance.
Okay. We'll find out. Ratliff will hand off to Matthias. Matthias breaks a tackle, breaks another one, and gets a couple.
Oh, boy, man.
Lexington will have a couple of timeouts here in the remaining last minute of the first half.
I just saw Tristan Braden pancake a defensive back, came right up to make the play, and he was a little lower than the white stripes. Wow.
They're going to go on the delayed handoff again to Matthias, and he'll get another 4 yards. So looks to me, Coach, like they're going to just let the clock run down here and be very happy with 48-7, and why not? One of the things I think Coach Board will be pleased about, among other things, is just one penalty for 5 yards for New Lex in the first half.
Well, we talked about that. He addressed that issue about penalties. We talked about the different kinds of penalties. There's the mental kind and the full speed kind. Like that's a mental mistake there by the Maysville Panthers defensive line. When you jump off sides or you twitch on the offensive line, that's a lack of concentration. If you hit a guy a second late because you're in hot pursuit, those are full speed mistakes. You have to live with them. But those mental mistakes, those are the ones that drive head coaches crazy.
That is their 5th penalty for 25 yards, so all small penalties for Maysville.
Yes.
No personal fouls in this game.
No, it's been a clean game all the way.
Ratliff on the delayed handoff again.
There's a nice play.
Matthias, and Colton, no room to run there.
54, Luke Roberts on that tackle. 5'8", 170 junior defensive lineman, and that's going to be the last play of the half.
All right, we are at the halftime where it is 48-7 in favor of New Lexington, and the Panthers got things rolling quickly in the first minute of the football game, where they scored a touchdown, and they have not looked back or made many mistakes after that.
The long pass to start the game, 2 bad punt snaps back to back. We've had a block punt for a touchdown. So, if I was going to address one issue in the next weekend practice, it would be special teams for Maysville. I mean, that's just it's a killer. I mean, you just can't give away 3-yard drives for a touchdown and 5-yard drives for a touchdown and snap the ball over the punter's head. Those are mistakes that have to be corrected.
Well, we are at the homecoming tonight, and in the pregame, Sam Roop discussed the candidates. So, Sam, if you still have that, let's go over one more time the Queen and her court.
Yeah, of course. So freshman attendant was Stella Hefner, sophomore attendant Sophie Burgess, junior attendant Rayleigh. Senior King candidates Paul Stenson, Tristan Braden, and Harrison Ratliff. We've all heard those names a bunch tonight. Senior Queen candidates Caroline Dupler, Peyton Lee, and Rayleigh Spawn. And the 2024 Home King and Queen, Carson Kellogg and Josie Bowen, were able to crown the 2025 King and Queen, Caroline Dupler and Harrison Ratliff.
All right. It is 48-7 at the break here at Rockwell Stadium. We're going to enjoy the sounds of the Maysville Band, followed by the New Lex Band. And when we come back, we'll have the first half scoring and stats. So stay with us. You're listening to New Lexington football on South 60. It's 48-7 at the break.
And I've never been in the homecoming court, Sam. Just reiterate that.
We didn't think you were. We didn't want to embarrass you, but
You never know.
it happens.
Sometimes my coach may have put me there, that's for sure. He was a little upset with me a couple times.
All right, so enjoy the bands. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, under the direction of Mr. Michael Folk and flag advisor Ashley Harvey, we proudly present the pride of the Panthers, your 2025 New Lexington High School Marching Band. Please welcome to the field your director from 1985 through 2012, Mr. David N. Harmon. And now stand up and cheer as we welcome back our 2025 New Lexington Alumni Band. Forget roller coasters, we're going off the rails with Ozzy's 1980 iconic hit, Crazy Train. Now we're going to move to a soulful groove as we play the blues, because whether we're marching in the mud, kicking up dust, or sweating up a storm, it ain't been good. our next song needs no introduction. We're still laying track and keeping those wheels a-rolling with the Doobie Brothers' Long Train Running.
Such a small screen. Number first set. I love Bryce. Where's he at? Don't we all? I should have took his camera and dropped it. And I handed it to him.
If you bought 50-50 tickets tonight, grab your 50-50 tickets. We'll call a number here in a minute.
They made dogs fight.
50-50 tickets.
Oh, I thought he was having sex with dogs.
If you win the 50-50, you bring your ticket to the press box on the home side of the field. Nice pot, $600 pot tonight, 50-50. 50-50 number is 155-954. 155-954. If you've got that 50-50 ticket, bring it to the press box on the home side of the field, up the steps. You'll be the winner of the 50-50. 155-954.
These Maysville Panthers can come back to me.
Colton Mathai for New Lexington. 1, Cohen Llewellyn. 5, Keaton Bryan, deep to receive.
Getting a little special teams action, so guys see Eli out there, I see Paul
I had to go stick
There was a flag on the sideline, but
change has seen for New Lexington. Paul Stenson is not starting in the second half. Chase Schneider is at the defensive coordinator.
Yes, it is. Keeping it out.
Everybody else just the second.
That's one thing that we really talk about this Knights defense is there's never just one guy. It's at least like 5, 6, 7 guys every single time.
coach is in there, playing by the spot. Right, each three of the guys on the tackle.
The starters on the second besides Joe Schreiner, Lutz, Eli Stevens, Christian Wade, Terrell King, Harrison Ratner, Tanner Toth, Paul Neely, Darius Neely, Tyson Spicer,
The ball's on the carpet.
Rarely coming back out with the board. Mazeville's playing well. Third down and 4.
Something that's really impressing me is Dalton Witt. He's already getting reps at the end, but he's getting a lot of reps. He's not missing.
Every rest of your season pass is in the booth.
That's That's going to be Neely.
Goodbye.
And see you later as a touchdown will go to Paul Neely on a pick.
I think that one of the linebackers batted that ball down. It might have been Harrison Ratliff or Tanner Toad. And everybody was looking for the football, and Mr. Neely was already going the other way with it.
That just makes me smile. Paul Neely's one of my best friends. So yeah, just
That's good.
You guys cheat together, is that what you're trying to say? Yeah? You guys are on a straight road.
That's a good play. Nice play by the defense.
Paul gets the extra lunch this week. Pick 6. So make sure you check these out.
Kick.
All Stetson, so let's try something new.
Nowhere.
That's something we haven't seen this year.
That's a Woody Hayes play. What he gives it to. It didn't work.
Really just pursuit right there.
Morgan Hines had been mixing up this one.
They have not. That's going to give us that reminder. Coach Clifford sat down
Done well on Keaton Bryant.
and for the next 2 weeks, we're going to present those interviews, and then week 10, we'll have Coach Board on for an extended interview with Coach Clifford. So, you know, I'm really glad that we've got those coming up because New Lexington really has it going this fall.
Oh, they do. And the 4 kids I interviewed, I was
Super
really
kids.
impressed with Georgia because she was the first interview, and every time I interviewed one of the kids, I was even more impressed. So they were great kids, and we had a lot of fun.
Good. So the next 2 weeks, we look forward to that. That's Keaton Bryan on the kickoff return for Maysville. 54-7, New Lexington leads. Maysville one more time here with the football in the third quarter on the running clock.
Luke Fink on the tackle at the time, sophomore, 6 foot 165. He plays tight end and linebacker, and so he's behind some pretty good guys in the starting lineup. But it's an excellent play on the special teams.
Yeah, when you look at the New Lexington defense, starting 5, Paul Neely is a senior, Harrison Ratliff's a senior, Tristan Braden's a senior, Paul Stenson's a senior. That's it. They've got 7 returning starters and a lot of depth coming back next year for these Panthers. It's Cade Rock, high snap. He will hand straight ahead. Running room on the left side for Maysville. Gain of a couple right there.
And I believe it's still the first team out there. I see Big Eli out there and Harrison.
There's Tyson Spicer's out there.
Yep.
Paul Neely.
Terrell King's out there. So that's the first team defense out there. I think is Stinson still out?
Yeah, he is still out there.
That's probably a smart move.
Yep.
There's no need to play Paul Stinson now. Some big games coming up here to finish this season out, and you definitely want that kid in the lineup.
Yeah, and Dalton Wade, as we mentioned, just a freshman getting good varsity experience here in this game. Penalty flag flies. I think that's going to be illegal motion by Maysville. Dead ball foul. Yep.
Well, the New Lex defense is stemming or moving just before the snap to realign themselves. Sometimes their 3 defensive linemen have been really tight, and then at the last second they spread out. Or sometimes they line up wide and they move in. But when they're doing that, it's intimidating those offensive linemen just a little bit. Oh, look out.
And off
look
to
out.
New Maysville's, I think that's Cohen Llewellyn. And, boy, coming in there is Wade that time for New Lex. Also Terrell King kind of mopping things up.
Well, that play had no chance from the start.
It's going to be third down for Maysville. And, you know, I'm thinking Coach Bowman's probably just going to run it and punt it. Coach, wouldn't you think? Third down and 15,
Well,
based on what just happened
either
there last
that or
time
just
they had the ball.
throw one deep.
Yeah, hope for a
somebody-
penalty or a catch, yeah.
Right. Hope for that pass interference. They're going to play coverage.
Yep.
They're backing off.
Now,
Here's a
Rock's
deep
going to
throw.
throw long, and that's not going to be close to the intended target.
No.
Double coverage that time for New Lexington. Carson McCoy and Mason Ryder out there. And be careful here because an errant punt snap could be a 2-point safety.
Had that pass was well short of the receiver, and had it been just a little bit longer, that would have been another interception because he was well covered.
Alex Ray will punt from his own 5-yard line. Mason, or I should say Tyson Spicer, right at midfield. And I just have a feeling Tyson Spicer is going to break one.
Good
Not
snap.
tonight. That's a punt that sails short. And
Get away from him.
fielded by Maysville right at the 50-yard line. So New Lexington with great field position. Let's see who comes out for the Panthers.
Carter Abella down that ball for the Maysville Panthers that time. Well, I talked to the former coach Craig Clark, who's up here in the press box in Maysville, and he said they've had no problem with the punting game. He said until tonight, they'd not had a bad snap or anything even close to it.
Just one of those nights.
Yes.
Happens. Lane Ratliff's going to be at quarterback. Tyson Spicer and Locke are one of the receiving packages, and Matthias is in the backfield, and Colton will get the toss. That may come back on an
good
illegal
hit.
block coming. I think we got an illegal block on New Lexington.
Well, I'll tell you what, we had an outstanding hit by Alex Ray for the Maysville Panthers. That was a tackle for a loss. He stopped Matthias in his tracks.
Let's see if Maysville takes the penalty or the play. And Matthias lost 4 yards on the play. Yeah, they're going to decline it, but you could see the block in the back by New Lexington. So second down and 15 for the Panthers.
You know, the game's out of reach. Maysville has no chance, but I tell you what, that was an outstanding play that time by Alex Ray. I like to see that kind of stuff because tonight, if you're Chase Bowman, you got to go through your film and pick out little victories, and that right there was one of them.
Pitch will go to Colton Matthias, and Matthias has room, breaks a tackle, breaks another one, gets 7 yards. Boy, Maysville really stacked at the line of scrimmage.
He's going to gain more than 7.
Playing the run. I guess he's going to get about, maybe give him 8.
That was.
It was second and 15.
Yeah.
It's now third and 6, so we're 5. Close enough. That's Spicer and Locke and Brayson Lee on the other side. Maysville nearly jumps. That's Clayton Locke with Tyson Spicer. Interesting formation here with Spicer behind Locke. Pitch will, and it's reason for his blocking. Pitch will go to Matthias. Another good stop by Maysville that time. That's Alex Ray. That's going to bring up a 4th down.
Alex Ray again. I think the New Lex ball carrier didn't read his blocks. I mean, he should have. What was our running back coach used to say? Stay on the hip and never dip. No, he took that inside route, and he had 2 wide receivers blocking down that time. That play was meant to go to the outside a little further.
Tanner Toth will enter the lineup for New Lexington. And he will be at the wingback spot. Lead blocker. Oh, fumble picked up by Lane Ratliff. No gain, but Maysville will take over on downs. How about that?
Well, I saw Tanner Toth take off down the field like he was running a streak. And I don't think he was going downfield to block. I think that was going to be a play-action pass.
So Maysville with a golden opportunity here, trailing big by the score of 54-7 here. The running clock in the third quarter.
That running clock is down to 2:25 and
it
going
flies.
fast.
It flies. For New Lexington, by the way, they will travel to Meadowbrook next week and then Crooksville, and then close out the season with Sheridan. Rock will hand off to Llewellyn. Nice tackle. Who was that on the bottom of that one?
That's Paul Neely.
Yeah, excellent job by Paul. Your big buddy there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Neely made that tackle or not, Sam. I just think you might be promoting him. He made the tackle.
Yeah,
excellent pursuit down the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I'm his agent now. I'm trying to get him some college attention.
A good-looking kid.
Isn't that one of your basketball buddies too, Sam?
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Are you guys going to both be hooping it up this year?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right.
So he goes to Tri-County, so I don't really see him at school that much, but I do get to see him every day at basketball, so it's pretty awesome.
There's a little bit of defensive line moving there.
Second
Look
down.
out.
That's Llewellyn.
Oh,
and is
that's
that
big
Neely
Eli.
on the bottom
yes,
again?
It was. Eli come down the line, and when a 75 grabs a one, buddy, you know the one is going to go down.
Third down and 10 for Maysville. Another substitution for New Lexington. Gavin Craig's in the lineup. He is a sophomore for New Lexington. So they're sprinkling in some of the subs here, guys. Tanner Tote still on the field. The secondary still intact. Tyson Spicer and Mason Ryder in the secondary. Back to pass is Cade Rock. Look out.
Oh.
He gets it away, and that's going to be over the head.
There's a blown
the
coverage.
receiver. Yeah, that Tyson Spicer back. Was that his man, Coach?
I don't think so.
I think it was the other safeties.
Yeah, I do too, Sam. I think the other safety jumped up to stop that 5-yard out.
Yep. When you see the coaches on the sidelines have a little notebook where they pull it out and they make a few notes. Isn't that one of those cases where they do that?
Oh, you bet.
Like the time and score and who wasn't where you're supposed to be.
Probably on an iPad.
Yeah.
All right, here comes Alex Ray again. And another nice punt. That's going to send Tyson Spicer back to his
nice
15.
block.
That's a great block by New Lexington, Terrell King.
That was a decleater.
That's a term we haven't heard of. We're bringing all of them out tonight.
Got some vocab words.
Well, they may even call that a block in the back decleater. I see the hanky on the field.
Is that going to be?
I think they're going to call King for the block in the back.
And if that's the case, that will be penalty number 2 tonight for the Panthers.
And that's one of those full speed mistakes that Coach Board talked about earlier this week.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So it's forgivable.
That's what I try to tell my coach in college. And after that fourth block in the back in that game, he
had enough.
Well, he'd had enough. He said I would be doing some pine wood therapy. And my butt hit the bench and didn't come back up for a while.
That's going to end the third quarter, which reminds us, if you're thinking about switching banks, why don't you stop by People's State Bank in New Lex? You'll notice the difference right away. And remember, they keep the community first, and they are always eager to have you as one of their customers no matter what your needs are. That's People's State Bank, who have been very generous to the folks here at New Lexington City Schools as well as South 60. So, guys, 1 quarter to play with the running clock, 54-7. You got to keep playing.
You got to keep playing. This is kind of an interesting week for me. Not only did I get to interview those 4 kids, I bumped into one of my former students at Dodson's restaurant this week, Brian McCarter, one of my all-time favorite students, and one of my all-time favorite broadcast partners is packing the camera for Aaron Sprague tonight. That's JT Raymond down there. JT and I worked together for several seasons when he worked at WHIZ. And so now he's filling in for a guy who didn't make it to work for Aaron. And what's his outfit? Gridiron? Is it Gridiron Glory? Or
it is, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's who JT's working for tonight. Okay, this is the worst field position of the night for New Lexington. Usually when they've started at the 6-yard line, it's been Maysville's 6-yard line. This time it's theirs.
This time it's the second team.
Yeah, who's the quarterback?
Sam Hill.
So Sam Hill gets to the opportunity, and he will give straight ahead.
Sam Hill. Like in where in the world where in the Sam Hill are we? You ever heard that expression?
We're in New Lex, and yeah, I've heard that expression
well,
before.
now we know where Sam Hill is, in New Lex.
Yeah, freshman, quarterback.
And Lane Ratliff, just a junior, so a couple years of training for Sam Hill. At some point, I think we're probably going to see Gunnar Patton here at running back for New Lexington. He played a bunch last week against Coshocton.
Yes, he did. And his father was a tailback for my Kershaw Ceramics the last couple of years I coached. And Kyle was quite the tailback. And if Gunner's anything like his daddy, he'll be about 6'1", 195 when he's a senior.
Second down for New Lexington. And they will go straight ahead, going to be short of the first down.
That's Gunnar Patton with
the carry. Gunnar Patton has his first carry of the night, so it's going to be third down for New Lexington. Gain of 4. And we could end up seeing our first punt of the night for the Panthers.
Well, we into the fourth quarter now. And,
we are.
And 10:40 running clock, which means an incomplete pass or anything else, the clock does not stop.
I think Coach Board will be very happy just to run this and then punt it.
Mm-hmm.
Got to give the punting team some work, too.
Yeah.
Sam Hill stays at quarterback.
Well, that's a passing formation.
Yeah, they have three, four guys in the passing pattern with the near side of the field with 3 receivers. And they will run it with Gunnar Patton. And Patton up to the 14-yard line. I think he's going to be well short of the first down.
Well short of the first down and a penalty flag on the ground.
It would most likely be holding.
It's going to go against the Panthers, but it's going to be fourth down. So if it's not a first down, I'm sure they'll decline this and take the ball. Here comes the punt team.
All right, is this going to be Tanner Toth, the punter for the Panthers?
Well, one of the things you have in these kind of games is you rarely have a second unit punt squad ready to go. So usually it's the first team punt team out there doing the
it is
honors.
going to
But
be.
those guys look awfully young to me. That might be the backup punt team.
Freshman Dalton Waite.
Yeah, Waite's going to be the punter for. Whoa,
oh.
That's going to be a safety. That was way over the head of Dalton Waite.
Epidemic of that going on tonight.
Yeah. Well, I suppose you'd rather make those mistakes in a game that has this kind of situation. You're kind of in the fourth quarter, second team in, instead of that happening later on in your career.
Instead of having a game where you have a lead by 1 point, you bet, Sam.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Well, now the punting team will be on.
Yep.
So the safety goes against New Lex. That makes the score 54-9 in favor of the guys from Perry County.
What a dominating performance tonight by the New Lexington Panthers on homecoming night. Wow.
Yes.
I mean, they just absolutely dominated this game from the start.
Both sides of the ball.
Both sides of the ball. Their team speed is definitely much greater than Maysville's team.
And the good news is that Maysville at 3-3, New Lexington really shouldn't lose too much in the state rankings for playoffs. They're number 1, and you certainly want to keep that. You get that first round bye, and then second round you get the home game. So that's that new playoff format really favors those top 4 teams with the bye and then the home game. As most people know by now, they've dropped from 16 teams to 12 for the OHSA playoffs. And I know, Coach, we have talked about that, and I think that's a good rule because there were too many 16 seeds getting smoked by one seed teams.
Yeah, I mean,
not everywhere, but a lot of cases.
Coach Board and I disagreed at that point. He thought the 16-team format should have stayed. I disagreed. I mean, I thought that was entirely too many teams.
Yeah, I like the 12.
I mean, I think if you're 4-6 or 3-7, you're not a playoff team. If you've lost 7 games by 40 points, you're not a playoff team. And that's what was getting into the playoffs a lot of times in that 16th position.
Well, Colt Mathias will kick it away after the 2-point. Then it's going to be picked by Maysville. And that is Keaton Bryan. Crosses midfield, and a nice open field tackle that time by the Panthers. Clayton Locke on special teams.
I'm really impressed by Colton Mathias's kicking ability. I don't think he's been kicker at all this year. I think it's been Eli Dixon and Sawyer Barkus. So
Yep.
I'm really impressed.
Well, we saw it, we've seen a bunch of kickers this year.
You know, one of the things that you want your kickoff guy to do is, besides get distance, is you want him to get a little altitude too. Because when you kick that line drive, your kickoff team haven't moved 10 feet, and the return man has the ball already. So I like to see those kickoffs a little higher.
First down carry for Maysville. That's Alex Ray. And Alex Ray, good running room. He'll gain 8. One of the officials gets knocked over.
Yes, he did.
Luke Fink on the tackle there, and the tackle by the ref.
Man.
Yeah, so
Well,
Luke
that's
Fink
exactly
takes out 2 guys.
That's what happened to former coach Bill Nutt here. Bill is now in the hospital in Columbus facing another surgery on that knee that was so badly damaged. So, yeah, you got to be careful out there.
Yeah, prayers for him.
Watch out, guys.
Second down and 2. That's going to be another carry by Ray. And another good run that time by Ray and a first down.
Tackle made by Hayden Finley.
Okay. Freshman.
Yeah, if Sam, you could keep us posted on all of these new guys that you know from around the school. It'd be a great honor to have those guys' names.
Of course, I will do my best.
Make it 1st and 10 for Maysville. And they have a new quarterback in there for the Panthers and a new running back. And not much running room along the right side for Maysville. That was Gavin Duncan.
Well, one of the young Panthers found out what the term bird dog means, and he was standing out there kind of watching the process being tackled, and one of the offensive linemen for Maysville absolutely sent him sprawling.
James Sharp with the tackle there.
The new quarterback for Maysville is Sawyer Bailey. He hands off again to the back, Gavin Duncan. And Duncan is thrown back for a couple of yards. Sam, tackle made by
Nathan Moeller, among others, and friends.
Chains are moving, and so is the clock.
First down for Maysville.
6:45 on the running clock remaining in the game.
This could be their last drive of the night, depending. They have it
No
1st
doubt.
and 10 on the new Lexington 20-yard line, or make it the 18. And the give will again go on the left side. Another good run that time by Maysville, and then knocked out of bounds at the 2-yard line is Gavin Duncan.
Nice hit by freshman Hudson Gardner. 5'6", 130. And he
Yeah, you know,
laid
all these
That
players-
is, I tell you what, 5'6", 130.
Yeah, he's out there throwing it around.
It's not the size of the Panther in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the Panther, but he
There
needs
you go.
every ounce to get that one down.
But again, you know, in 3 years, he'll be 6 foot 180 and
You
be
bet.
a stud.
Yeah.
First and goal for Maysville. And they're on the threat here. They will again go to the back, and that's a touchdown for Gavin Duncan.
But there's, all these young guys, they'll have a game, I believe tomorrow, a reserve football game. It'll be at Maysville. And that's a great experience for them. But I tell you what, there's nothing like Friday night under the lights experience.
That makes the score 54-15. Jocelyn Milanovic will attempt the extra point for the Maysville Panthers. Kick
Good hold, good
away,
snap.
looks
Man,
good.
nice kick.
And Jocelyn Milanovic bangs in the extra point. That makes it 54 for New Lexington and 16 for Maysville. And we have, about 5 minutes to go in this one?
Yep.
Yeah,
Howard,
almost
I
exactly.
think we might be on vacation next week.
Yes, we want to remind you that next week, New Lexington will be on the air, but it will be the MVL Game of the Week so a crew will be there. We will not, but we will have those interviews that Coach Clifford sat down with. We'll have 2 of them next week and then 2 of them the following week, and then Coach Board week 10. So our executive full-time producer Michael Steele will figure out which 2 will be next week and which 2 will be the following week. And Doug, you've talked that a couple times. You just had a good time talking to those kids.
Oh, I did. There's so much bad press out there for kids. The kids don't do this, and kids won't work. And I talked to 4 young people, and one's going to major in architecture at Ohio State. One's going in the Navy. They have their lives planned. I mean, for this part, where most kids' long-range vision stops at the end of their nose at that age. Those 4 kids, they're doing a nice job of it.
Picked up by New Lex and then falling on it for the Panthers, and they'll have one more opportunity here in the waning minutes of the fourth quarter. I want to remind you too that next week we will have volleyball on Tuesday at the high school gym, and then on Thursday we'll have boys and girls soccer. So a couple of opportunities next week for volleyball and soccer to be shown, and then next Friday, as we mentioned, the MVL game of the week will be at Meadowbrook, and then we will be back week 9, our crew, at Crooksville, and then week 10 against that team up north.
Yep.
First and 10 for New Lex, and they will go straight ahead. And is that a new back, or is that Gunnar Patton?
That's Gunnar Patton.
Gunnar Patton, nice run that time for Gunnar. Close to a first down, and yes, it is in fact a first down.
I'm going to say right now, Gunnar's probably twice as good as his father, unless his father takes me on that fishing trip he promised to take me on.
And then you say his dad's even better looking than he was.
Yeah, no doubt.
Fishing trip coming, yeah, he's a good-looking guy, good player. Well, just remember this, Coach.
Yes.
The older you get, the better you were.
No doubt.
First and 10 for Maysville. Let's see if we get another run by Gunnar Patton here in this one.
2:30 left in the game.
Yep, that should be about it for the game. That's Gunnar, and he is stuffed at the line of scrimmage, keeps his feet moving, and gains a couple. 4 carries, 16 yards for Gunnar Patton here in the second half for New Lexington.
So Meadowbrook's next
week.
That's a team I haven't seen, but they
didn't they beat John Glenn?
They beat John Glenn and beat them handily.
Yeah.
And I think when they beat John Glenn, that
was that John Glenn.
That pumped their record to 2-4.
Yeah.
So they were off to a tough start, and I heard some guys talking tonight. They were ahead in their game. I can't remember who they're playing tonight, but they had the lead.
Well, that'll be an interesting game next week. Can't afford the letdown.
No.
Gunnar Patton one more time, and he'll get 4 yards. 5 carries for 20 yards for Gunnar Patton. 54-16, last couple of minutes of this one. It has been all New Lexington here tonight in homecoming.
Well, they may have come out not quite as sharp last week against Coshocton, but tonight they came out and it looked to me like they absolutely wanted to dominate this game from the start, and they did.
Maysville, and again, we've said this, Maysville is a good team. Maysville had no chance tonight.
No.
Yeah, they were outgunned from the very get-go. That's Gunnar Patton on the pitch. Very nearly an illegal block in the back. No gain on the play that time for the Panthers.
I think he lost a yard the way the downs marker's moving. Just tried to make a cut. Couldn't negotiate the turf. Went down.
4th down for New Lexington. I imagine they're just going to not punt it away.
Well, can't be much time left, is there, Sam?
There's about 23 seconds left, about a 4-second difference from the play clock to the play clock to the game clock.
So depending on how the referees spot the ball, this could be the final play of the game. I don't imagine they're going to be in a big hurry to spot that ball quickly.
See if he's just going to take a knee.
Huh.
And that's it.
There you go.
I was going to say that's the final score of the football game. So New Lexington, very impressive, 54-16. We want to make a quick apology. Last week we were in the middle of our post game, Sam, Doug, and myself, and we lost to streaming. And just when we were getting to the good stuff. So tonight, hopefully, the streaming gods will stay with us and allow us to finish that post-game report. So let's start with the scoring. And New Lex got on the board first with the Paul Stenson 3-yard run. Ratliff to Spicer for the 2-point conversion. But by the way, New Lex scored 5 touchdowns in the first quarter. Stenson later on a 1-yard run. The extra point was no good. Middle of the first quarter, Colt Mathias on a 1-yard run. Eli Dixon kicked the extra point. Paul Stenson on another 1-yard run. Eli Dixon extra point. And then Tanner Toth on a 30-yard fumble return. Eli Dixon with the extra point. It was 35-0 in the first quarter. Second quarter, Maysville got on the board. Cade Rock to Keaton Bryan on an 11-yard pass. Jocelyn Milatovich on the extra point. Paul Stenson had a 48-yard run. Dixon's extra point was good. And then Lane Ratliff on a 43-yard run. The extra point was no good. In the third quarter, Paul Neely had a 38-yard interception, pick 6. The try for 2 was no good. Then in the fourth quarter, Maysville got a safety and then a Gavin Duncan 3-yard run. Let's look at some final numbers for Maysville. Cade Rock, 6 of 19 for 61 yards. Carson Lorimar, 25 yards on 2 catches. Landon Iden, 24 yards on 2 catches. Cohen Llewellyn, 10 yards on 2 catches. Just the 1 interception from Cade Rock. On the ground, they were led by Cohen Llewellyn, 14 carries for 35 yards for Maysville. Alex Ray had 4 for 14. Cade Rock had a couple for 4 yards. And then Gavin Duncan had 4 carries for 21 yards. It adds up to 74 yards on the ground, 61 through the air, 135 yards of offense for Maysville tonight, guys.
Well, and most of those yards came late in the game against the primarily freshman defense from New Lexington.
For the Panthers of New Lex, Lane Ratliff, 5 of 5 for 72 yards tonight. Tyson Spicer caught a pass for 5. Eli Dixon, 52. Colton Mathias, 1 for 4. Clayton Locke, 1 for 7. Terrell King, 1 for 4. On the ground, Paul Stenson, 10 carries, 101 yards. Gunnar Patton late, 6 carries for 20. Colton Mathias, 10 carries for 21 yards. Lane Ratliff, 6 carries for 71 yards. Tyson Spicer had a carry for 10. Sam Hill had 1 for 2. 255 yards on the ground, 72 through the air. Just your typical 300-yard night for an offense for New Lex.
Well, the only thing I see that would worry me if I was Coach Board is that ice bag that's on Paul Neely's left knee. Other than that, there's not much to complain about. I mean, he's telling the kids right now they played a complete game, and they certainly did. Did they have a turnover?
No, just the errant punt snap.
Wow.
Yeah,
how many penalties? 2, 3?
I think 2 penalties for 15 yards.
And so, that's some pretty good football.
I want to remind you one more time that People's State Bank has been around a long time. Banks have come and gone, but they're still here, proudly serving Perry County and the New Lex area. And the reason's simple. They keep the community first. All right, let's give our thank yous for the crew tonight. Marcus McPeck from South 60. Of course, Coach Doug Clifford. Students tonight, Sam Roop, Michael Steele, Wesley Fries, Alex Thorngate, Miss Amanda McCoy, the AD, Mr. Tony Thorngate, the high school principal. I want to remind you that volleyball Tuesday will stream from the high school, and then soccer next Thursday will be right here for both the boys and the girls. And, guys, our final thoughts in this one.
I think the Panthers are still fired up. They were really.
They want to play some more.
Man. I mean, they just did everything tonight they needed to do. They came out. They played a team that had a 500 record, and you'd have thought Maysville had never taken a snap all year. They made some big mistakes against New Lexington, and every time they made a mistake, the Panthers in the black jerseys made them pay for it.
Now, Sam, what will the mood like be Monday at school?
I think it's going to be awesome, and Paul Stenson or somebody better share one of those extra lunches with me. I'll tell you that.
You just been called out, Paul. You just been called out by one Sam Roop says, "Hey, dude, let's share some lunches around town."
I think if I were you, Sam, I'd be picking on Gunner Patton instead of Paul Stimson.
Well, we haven't given Gunner that extra lunch yet.
Yeah.
We're still waiting. We've given a lot of free and extra lunches this year. I'm not sure who's leading. Paul Stenson may be leading the group of extra lunches.
We may incur the wrath of the NCAA. We keep talking about all these free lunches.
Well, the other thing too is, the lunch lady. Who's the lunch lady, Sam?
There's a ton. I don't.
Who's the head lunch lady?
Don't incriminate anybody, Sam.
I would never.
The thing I was going to say was that we're not going to call Eli Stevens for the extra lunch because the lunch ladies would not be happy with us. If you can imagine that. All right, it's a festive mood tonight for homecoming. Congratulations to all of the youngsters who are involved in that, and of course the bands and the team. So, any final thoughts, Sam?
Honestly, no.
Sam has no thought.
Good enough for me, Coach.
Yeah, well, I have a thought. These Panthers are on a roll. They're going to play Meadowbrook next week, and I think that's kind of a mystery team. I'd like to see who they open their season with because they start off with some losses because they've been playing good football lately. So I think New Lexington is going to face another challenge. I think Meadowbrook will come to play, and New Lex has to go to their yard to get the game going. So, they have a chance to be 8-0 and lock down that number one spot in their regional. And I think that's going to be really important for them.
Well, thanks, everybody. It's been a fun night here at New Lexington. I want to remind you that Tuesday and Thursday we will have volleyball and soccer. Next Friday, the MVL Game of the Week over at Meadowbrook, and the coaches' interviews with a couple of the athletes from fall sports. So our thanks again to the New Lexington City Schools and the student crew. It's been fun. We will talk to you later. Take care.